Well, the gang's all here, so let's get started. Broadcasting from 25-degree downtown Cleveland, it's station WDWL TV, not home of one, but two stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm your host, the grumpy old man. And we're brought to you by Grumpy Voucher Productions. No bow, thank you. See you, bye. That's it. Oh, how is everybody doing tonight? Grumpy is a little lighter in the wallet. Not by choice. This car is killing me. It's absolutely killing me. I get up and make my coffee like usual and sit down and fire up my email. And there is an email from my doctor that says, we need another sample. Please go up to Express Care ASAP. So I go up to Express Care and back into space like I always do. I go in and fill the cup and put it in the revolving door. And the nurse tells me, that's it, you can go. Okay. So I fire up the car, put it in first, ease out the clutch, bang! Car won't move. I've been through this before. So I get out and look underneath. And this time, the right axle is hanging out of the car. Needless to say, I was not a happy camper. And the tow truck driver wasn't a happy camper because he couldn't get the goddamn flatbed in where my car was, so he had to push it out, tie up traffic getting into the parking lot, load it up, and off to Ryan's we went. So he dropped the car, and Ryan had an empty bay and said, push it right in. I says to him, fix it. He says, you want an estimate? I said, fix it. I need it for tomorrow. I have a CT scan and a doctor's appointment and a couple other errands. Just fix it. And call me when it's done. So at 5 o'clock, he said, I'm on my way to pick you up. Okay. We get back. I says, how much? He says, $300. So I peeled off $300. Now, had this gone to a dealer, it would have been like $700. So I wasn't complaining. Not to mention, I know that the job was done right, and some dealership technician, didn't take a coffee break halfway through and then forget to tighten something. Oh, I was not a happy camper, but this car is becoming a money pit, and I don't even fucking own it yet. That's the thing that really is pissing me off. So I emailed the attorney today and I said, when is the judge going to sign that goddamn paperwork? I would like to legally own this money pit. Haven't received an answer yet. Then I called my doctor and I said, what's going on? They can't, first of all, determine if it's a bladder infection, if it's a kidney infection. I said, well, what are we going to do? Well, we'll probably have to increase the antibiotics, but I need to consult with the lab. Well, as of showtime, I still don't have a prescription waiting, so Grumpy's not a happy camper. And I says, how much longer do I have to drink this crinkleberry juice? He said, I'll let you know. Oh, boy. Salute, Kathy. After picking up the car, I went up to Mark's and I bought the last 3 bottles of crinkleberry juice. I said, when are you getting more in? And the girl went, could be by next week Friday. I said, well, if you don't have it, I'm going to have to go somewhere else. Now, they have something called cranberry blend. And it doesn't say on the label what the blend is. Now, they have cranberry cherry, cranberry apple. This says cranberry blend. I can't take a chance. I have to drink regular straight, unsweetened, oh boy, crinkleberry juice. I'm starting to piss crinkleberries. And then Olivia was in a little bit of a snitty mood today. So I said to her, I says, you know what? I won't bother you anymore. It's obvious I'm irritating you. I won't bother you anymore. So I went in and I did my shopping. And then I went up to the service desk to check out. Now her register was empty and she's standing there waving. I ignored her. Her and Annie are the only 2 that I bequeath gifts on. There's a lot of times during the year, my buddy in the import-export, he'll get a shitload of stuff. like when he got like 10,000 green marking pens. So I give the girls some marking pens. Anytime there's some, like the one time, flashlights. And not cheapy, nice aluminum, rechargeable. So I give each one. It's obvious somebody doesn't appreciate my generosity anymore. So there's other cashiers in the store I can check out with. I just won't bother her anymore. Then after a while, especially like, I will be giving Annie some Mally's chocolate bars. Well, I can guarantee Olivia's going to be like, where's mine? Well, if you're going to be a snit, you get crossed off my Christmas list. I don't need to take no shit from some young, whippersnapper, as my grandfather used to use that term. And we have news on a certain cat. It seems that the woman that has the cat was just approved for assisted living. She is not allowed to have a pet. So that means Kitty is about to be homeless. Oh, here we go. Guess what his name is? Since he doesn't answer to anything except Kitty, his name is Kitty-san. Hoi. Yes, she calls him Kitty-san. So, Marianne has decided to take Kitty-san, which I am elated to hear because then I can go over and play with Kitty-san. Because Kitty-san loves attention. So, Marianne said, I'll take him. He has a cute face, which he does. So, Kitty-san is changing homes, and once he gets accustomed to Marianne's house, I'll go over and visit and play with him. Because he loves to play. Oh, does he love attention? But when he was up at the shop, I would come in the office. I'd sit down in a chair. He'd be rolling on my shoes. I'd be scratching his belly. He'd jump up in my lap and roll around. So I can't wait to go play with Kitty-san. And I'm really ecstatic that Marianne took him. I really am. At least, he won't be going back, or he won't be going, to a shelter. And he really didn't get too much attached to his owner. Well, in a way, he was getting all the attention that he wanted. So I can't wait until he gets settled over at Marianne's so I can go play with him. And then come home and have Kitty-san scent all over me, and Boots will be sniffing me, giving me the stink eye. I have a sign that I was going to give it to my pain management doctor, and I decided, well, maybe I'll keep it, but maybe I'll give it to him. They have the improved pain scale. 1, it might be an itch. 2, I just need a Band-Aid. Pain level 3, it's kind of annoying. Pain level 4, it's a concerning, but I can still work. Pain level 5, bees. Then we got pain level 6, more bees. Pain level 7, I can't stop crying. Pain level 8, it's hurt so bad I can't move. Pain level 9, mauled by a bear or ninjas. And pain level 10, unconscious. I think my pain management doctor would get a kick out of this. I can always get another one. Timu, $2.97. I thought it was cool. He'll like it. He'll put it up on his wall. I guarantee it. Oh, I forgot to bring it in. The dump truck has arrived. Man, I forgot how many pieces were in that kit. Holy shit, there got to be 1,000 pieces in that thing. I will have it tomorrow. I see the figure skaters missed out by the gold by just that much. But they got the silver. Although we are up to number 3 now in medal counts. I think we're up to 12. So we're getting up there, but it was a shame that old Breezy did the crash and burn in the Super G. She was kind of hoping for another gold, but shit happens. Although she wasn't too upset because after she got to the finish line, her French fiancé got down and proposed in front of the whole world. And of course she said yes. So that kind of took the sting out of the crash and burn on the Super G. Although maybe later on in life she would say it would have been better to have the gold medal than this ring. Then, who is making these goddamn medals? Several of them have broken already. What are these things made out of? Balsa wood? Yeah, several of the medals have broken. And then the Italians are saying, well, what are you guys doing wearing them all over the place? That's what you do. You win a medal, you wear it to show it off to the world. Oh, we didn't know that. Can you imagine winning a gold medal, you put it on to wear it, and the fucking thing breaks? It's almost as bad as the last Olympics. All the plating was coming off the medals. I'm like, for the price that they're paying to make these things, don't these companies have any, quality control? Yeah, I can't remember, where was the last Olympics? Wherever. Goddamn Olympics weren't even over, and the plating was coming off the medals. And then today when I was at Mark's, I spotted something new. They have pre-cooked, heat and eat pierogies. And they're done in real butter with real onions. Because I'll tell you what, those Mrs. T's or Mr. T's or whatever, those things taste like goddamn cardboard, even after you cook them. So these, you pop in an oven for, what is it, 350 for 30 minutes. So I can't wait to try them. Big tray full, too. And that whole tray was only like $10. So I will find out who makes them so that you can look in your grocery store of choice. I think I forgot to send you the Temu email this morning. Or did I? Or did I send you a different Temu email? Gets to the point I have so much Temu stuff I can't remember, Kathy. Did I send you a... Although, what one was I supposed to send? I don't think I sent you the right email. Oh, I sent you that sign. What was I supposed to send? Or did you find it? I can't even remember what we were talking about that I bought. That you were interested in. Sucks to get old. I sent you the sign. What was I supposed to send? I know we were talking about something I purchased or something I saw. And I think I sent you something totally off the wall. Or did you happen to go on Temu and find whatever we were talking about yourself? Oh, I'm getting bad. See, if I don't write a note, although that sign is very appropriate, I'll say that. Oh, you can't remember either. I'll have to go through my Temu stuff. I used to have a sign. I think I left it in one of my old body shop offices. It said, "I only speak in sarcasm," which my general manager didn't like. He kept saying, "Take that down." I said, "No." So when I would see him coming across the street, I'd flip it over. That was the nice thing about the body shop being across the street from the dealership. I could see him heading my way. It was like, all right, hide everything. Here comes the asshole. And he was, too. He was the nephew of the owner. And Brown knows his way to general manager and thought he was king shit. Although the owner liked me. So if he came over and chewed me out, and the owner would come over and say, how's things going over here? I'd say, well, over here, everything's going all right, but over there, we got some problems. What's that? I said, your nephew came over and chewed my ass today. He'd be like, oh, really? I'll go over and handle this. And then, you talk about getting a stink eye every time I walked across the street. And then when the dealership closed, because Buick didn't like the location. They wanted them to build a new dealership. And they said, no, we're not going to build some multi-million-dollar place. So Buick said, well, we're taking the franchise back. And then good old Genie, his name was Gene. Good old Gene went to work for another dealership, and boy, did he get knocked down a few pegs. Because the owner said, you're not going to talk to my employees like that. Yeah, Kathy, you're right. Dealing with family, You know, it was the owner, his 3 sons, his brother, and his nephew, all working there. Now the 3 sons, they were good to deal with. But boy, the nephew, he just thought he was one of them that thought his shit didn't stink. But the owner really liked me. Because he'd walk over and he'd go, my asshole nephew give me a hard time today? No. Good. That's what he thought of his nephew. I really wanted to ask him one day, why did you make him general manager of the place? If you think he's an asshole. Family, you know. And his brother, I still, to this day, don't know what his brother did. All he did was wander around. I never saw him do any work. Yeah, it was a shame when they closed that dealership up. But you know, nowadays, they want these big mega dealerships. You know, you go out and there's 400 salespeople and 10,000 cars on the lot, and you got Buick and GMC and what the hell? Let's see, we don't have Pontiac anymore. Buick, GMC, Chevy. And, you know, it wasn't like they weren't selling cars. You know, it was your old mom and pop type dealership. But GM, they wanted a new facade on the building, and they said, no, we're not doing that. It's a waste of money. We sell Buicks. People aren't coming to look at the building, they're coming to buy a car. And they said, well, we don't like your location because it's not easily accessible from a freeway. We want you to build a new dealership. And they said, no, we're not spending that kind of money. So GM said, we're taking the franchise from you. Well, they bought them out, but same thing. I remember when my brother-in-law wanted to buy an Explorer, and we went to, what the hell was the name of that goddamn mega dealership? I can't even remember the name of it. And there wasn't really, they had like 1,000 Explorers, but, my brother-in-law wanted certain equipment, certain color. Well, they'd have the equipment he wanted, and it wouldn't be in the color. Then they'd find one in the color he wanted, and it didn't have the equipment. And boy, they didn't want to let you leave. And one thing I hate, and dealerships are famous for it, they'll ask you for your keys so that they can take your car on an appraisal ride. And then they don't want to give you your keys back. Because they got your keys and they got you captive. And the salesman didn't like it. When he come back from taking my brother-in-law's possible trade-in, I saw him pull in the lot, and of course they always pull in the back. So I walked through the service department out the back door. And as he was getting out of the car, I acted like I was shaking hands with him. And I snatched the keys out of his hand, and he goes, oh, I need those. I said, nope, you took the car. You did your appraisal. You don't need your keys. Well, it's not your car. I said, I'm family, and I'm keeping the keys. Oh, he was pissed. Oh, man. Oh, you didn't know that, Kathy? That is a famous trick at a dealership. They take your car for an appraisal ride, which they have to, but then they hold your keys hostage because they want you to buy something, period. Well, if they don't have what you want, you ain't buying just whatever. So I saw him pull in and go around the back, and I hot-footed it through the service department. And he had the keys in his right hand, and I went to extend my hand out, and he thought I was shaking hands with him. And what are you doing? I says, I am obtaining the keys from you. That's what I'm doing. Well, it's not your car. It's my brother-in-law's car, and I have every right to obtain those keys. I need them back. For what? You already did your test drive. You don't need the keys. He was pissed. Because when we found out there were no Explorers that met my brother-in-law's standards, we left. Never to return again. Yeah, that's a famous trick of any dealership. And they're all sweetsy cutesy. Can I have your keys so we can take your car for an appraisal ride? And then they hide your car when they come back so you can't find it. And the salesman puts the keys in his coat pocket. Not this time. And I'll tell you what, that salesman almost was to the point of like laying on the floor and grabbing my brother-in-law around the ankles. Don't leave, don't leave. You don't have a car to sell me, I'm leaving. See ya. So, for future information, if you ever go to buy a new vehicle, keep your eye on the used car manager. Because when he returns with your car, you're going to make a mad dash to get your keys so that they can't hold you hostage. Because then, see, when you have your keys, now you have the bargaining power. You want to complete this deal? Let's talk price. Yeah, anybody I know that's thinking of going out and buying a new car, I inform them. If you have to take several family members and post them at all four corners of the dealership, watch when your car returns from the appraisal ride so you can get your keys. And then what makes it, matters worse is the used car manager will have your key, then he fucking disappears. Where's my keys? I want to leave. Oh, I don't know where Fred went. We'll page him. Fred to the showroom, Fred to the showroom. And Fred never shows up. He's hiding like in the back corner of the parts department. Don't tell nobody I'm back here. I got them people's keys. They're buying a car or they're never leaving here. But every dealership does it. Every dealership, even the used car lots. They're worse. And just to remind you, so Grumpy gets a little money. Go to the bookstores and buy one of Grumpy's books. The Art of Overlit Lighting, or other book, asshole, or The Art of Grumpiness. Grumpy gets about 2.5 cents for every book sold, so come on, people, buy his book. Either one, you'll love them. Good reading at night. You'll laugh your ass off, piss yourself, and then fall asleep. And I'm writing book number 3. If everything goes right, that book will be out in about 2 weeks. Or 2.5 weeks. I haven't got it fully written yet. But it's going to be a doozy. Oh, I hate that shit. Yeah. Crinkleberry juice. I watched a court case today. It was regarding an eviction. And, you know, people will come up with every excuse on earth to freeload and live rent-free. This woman was $11,000 behind in her rent. And this woman was trying, you know, the homeowner was trying forever to evict this woman. So it finally came down to a court hearing. And the woman said the reason that she couldn't move is because this house was out in the country. And she needed to find another house out in the country because she could not live in the city. And she could not come to court for a live in-person hearing because she had, get this, electro-hypersensitivity disorder. And she literally told the judge, if I have to come into the city where there is a lot of Wi-Fi and cell towers, I will fry. And the judge said, well, when are you moving? She says, I haven't found another place to live because I have this electro-hypersensitivity disorder. And the judge said, I don't want to hear about your disorder. You're $11,000 behind in the rent. The owner would like their property back. Well, I can't find anything out in the country like this where it's away from cell towers and Wi-Fi. What a crock of bullshit. Plus, this woman had every single variant of COVID. Every single one. She would no sooner get over one variant and magically catch another variant, which kept weakening her body. So she wasn't able to pack. I never heard such lame-ass excuses from a freeloader in my life. And neither did the judge. He just kept saying, when you're moving, when you're moving. Finally, he told her, we're done. Next month, we're having a final hearing, plain and simple. And if I make a ruling, you got to go, you got to go. Yeah, electro hypersensitivity disorder. And if she was around a cell tower, she would fry. But she was talking on a cell phone in court. I was waiting for the judge to say, are you smoldering right now? You're on a cell phone. It's emitting radio waves. Used every excuse in the book. She had variants of COVID that they hadn't even invented yet. Oh, I no sooner get over one variant than I happen to catch another one. And the judge says, how many days have you spent in the hospital? I've been home confined. Evidently, the COVID wasn't that serious. Most people that come down with a serious part of COVID ended up in the hospital, and a lot of them ended up on ventilators. But she had every single variant out there. I'm going to search to see if if the final hearing ended up on YouTube. Because the judge ordered her personal appearance. Some street sweeper probably came in and dropped a pile of ashes on the desk and went, this is your client. She fried downtown. Yeah. If she was anywhere near Wi-Fi and microwave towers, she was going to fry. I looked up electro hypersensitivity disorder and didn't say anything about frying. It is a disorder. Very obscure. And the symptoms that she was giving, I don't know where she got them from. It didn't say anything about frying. It said basically that the person might experience a little lightheadedness. It didn't say that they would be like electrocuted. And you know, her rent was $9.90 a month, and to be behind $11,000. You talk about a freeloading bitch milking that poor landlady. And the whole thing is, she had no formal diagnosis. Because when the judge said, can you back this up with medical evidence, she said, no. And the judge asked her, well, how did you get diagnosed? Over the phone. What? Over the phone. Hello, Doc. I have these symptoms. I think it's electrohypersensitivity disorder. What do you think? Well, maybe. Okay, thanks. Click. Yeah, staycation. She was just too goddamn lazy to pack her shit and move. I guarantee she didn't even look for another place. She was like, oh, I'm nice and comfy here. And meanwhile, the poor landlady, she says, this is part of my monthly income. She goes, I'm barely scraping by. I need this money. Well, damn right well, if she gets a judgment for $11,000, the woman ain't never going to pay. Because if she didn't pay her monthly rent, she ain't going to pay a court judgment. And yeah, in order to enforce the judgment, they could probably stick her in jail, but you're still not getting any money. Although I fault the landlady, the owner, for letting it go that long. After basically her being 1 month behind, she should have gone and filed an eviction. Why she waited as long as she did, I don't know. But she's never going to see her money. And like the owner said, I've been forced to pay the utilities because she's got, I got to keep the furnace on in the winter so that, the house don't freeze. So, besides not getting any rent, she's paying the electric bill and the gas bill. It's just sad how some people can be utter assholes and bilk someone like that. And the owner was, I would say, too easygoing. In the beginning, she probably fell for the COVID excuse. And then when the COVID excuse was wearing a little thin, then she gargled some mysterious disease. Yeah, she was so weakened by so many bouts of COVID that she spent 12 hours a day on her back in bed. I know how she spent it. With the remote. Oh, I don't like that program. Oh, I don't like that program. Maybe I'll watch this one. That's how she spent her time in bed, suffering from a variant of COVID and her electro-hyperactivity disease. Well, how could she use a remote? It emits an RF signal. Every time she pressed the button, what happened? What happened? Speaking of what happened, I jumped up and the chair just went wacky. Where's the release lever? Where's the up and down lever? Can't find the lever. Oh, yeah, this is one where you got to spin it. Oh, I'll have to spin it later. Now I'm going to jinx myself. I wonder how long I'll drive the Passat before something else breaks down. Boy, that axle blew right out, too. Man, Ryan showed it me. It was in two pieces. All the ball bearings were shattered. Although, like he told me, people don't like doing it because they're cheap. But when you have an axle shaft that goes haywire, they tell you to replace both. Because it's like when a headlight burns out. If you don't replace both bulbs, the good headlight will burn out in a short amount of time. Because now you have a draw from the new, stronger headlight, and it causes the weaker one to go. So now I have a fairly new axle shaft on the driver's side and a brand new one on the passenger side. So I hope we don't have a problem now. Goddamn pain in the ass car. Reminds me of that movie with, I think it was Goldie Hawn, The Money Pit. Every time they fixed one thing in the house, something else went haywire. Like when the floor gave away. I love that one. Yeah, well, you know, Kathy, you buy, and headlights, they come in a pack of two. So you got two brand new bulbs. But everybody's like, well, the other one's working fine. I'll leave it alone. And then about a month later, and it's that way with everything. Like if you have to replace a caliper on the left, they tell you replace the caliper on the right. Oh, with Shelley Long. I always get her, and I call her Giggles. I always get her and Giggles confused. It was a cool movie, though. They were buried in that house. Every time, oh man, they couldn't touch something without it going haywire. Well, God, that movie came out, what, in the 80s? Maybe in the early 90s? Man, that movie is old. Oh, I hate that. I'll tell you what. Coil packs were a pain in the ass. And these new goddamn setups, like the Posada's got, the coil, each cylinder has its own coil. And it's attached to the tube that goes down and hooks on the top of the spark plug. I never saw such a wacky setup in my life. And Ryan told me, if you do one, you got to do all four. All right, Rudy, have a good one. Yeah, I took that they call it a beauty cover. That big hunk of plastic on top of the engine. I took that thing off and I went, what the hell's this shit? He said, those are coil packs. Now, the last car that I had one big one. And the spark plug wires came out of the big one. No. Each spark plug has its own coil pack. And he told me if one goes bad, you replace all four. I said, well, what if the other three aren't bad? They'll go bad. But you know, this is the way they're designing cars. First of all, they're designing them so that 99.9% of the time, you have to take it to a dealer. And then they're designing them to make money off the repair. Because I could guarantee them 4 coil packs are probably at least a couple $100. That's like I remember, oh, what the hell was that Lincoln my uncle bought for my aunt? A Versailles. It was a small one. It was about the size of a Granada. Matter of fact, I think they were the same body. And it had the goofiest carburetor I had ever seen. And I'm trying to think what the name of that stupid carburetor was. But it was non-adjustable. It wasn't like you could go in and turn the fuel air ratio jet, or it had no jets on it. Had a bunch of wires plugged into it. And when that thing went bad, it was like a $600 carburetor. Oh, it was the worst car on earth. Oh, who won the trivia last night, Ron? I thought you'd tell us right in the beginning. I have to ask. Yeah, well, Kathy, Ford uses the same engine throughout the whole car line, so town car is nothing more basically than a really spiffy Crown Vic. Same body, same frame, same drivetrain, so yeah. Holy shit. Man, they must have thrown some real winger questions at you guys. Come in fifth. Wow. You guys didn't even have a chance. Would they have 5 teams? Coming in fifth is a lot less painful than saying, oh, we came in last. Yeah, then when the goddamn flatbed pulled in, of course they always got to send a flatbed that you could load a semi on it. And people are complaining, we can't get in. Well, you think I planned this? Just drive around the block a couple of times. The guy's working as fast as he can. He had to push that goddamn... Man, that car is heavy. He asked me if I give him a hand pushing. I said, oh, no. No, I ain't pushing that car. And then I tried to tell him how he could winch it. Are you a tow truck instructor? I said, hey, pal, let me tell you something. I was driving a tow truck before your parents even were engaged. Get a snatch block out, hook it over here, hook the cable right here in this tow eye underneath my bumper, and I'll steer it. Well, that's not how I was told to do it. Just do it. He's standing there scratching his ass. I walked over. I flipped the door open on the tool compartment. Customers aren't supposed to do it. I said, there's a snatch block right there. Get it out. Hook it at the end of the bed over here. Run the cable sideways over to my car. It'll work. Then you can show your boss and say, look, I learned something. Then there's a big sign on the door. Due to insurance regulations, we cannot carry passengers. I jumped up in the truck and I said, either I ride with you or we're not moving. Well, you're not allowed in the truck. I said, looks like I'm in the truck. Throw me out. Or unload my car. And I'll call another tow truck company. Oh, okay, we're only going a few blocks. Yeah, we're only going a few blocks. Put it in drive, asshole. Let's get out of here. Then I called Allstate Motor Club and gave them a piece of my mind. I said, what the hell you doing hiring goddamn tow truck companies that won't let the customer ride in the truck? Well, it's up to the individual towing company. Then I'd get rid of them. What are you going to do? Strand a customer? I'm paying a monthly fee for your goddamn service. I'm not going to have no tow truck driver tell me, oh, you can't get in the truck. Sorry. Yeah, I told him, I said, well, either I ride here or I'm getting up in the car. One way, you and I are going to the same place. Well, you're not allowed to ride under insurance regulations. I said, that my ass is warm in this seat right now. And we're killing a lot of time. We could have been there by now. You wouldn't argue with me. Oh, I let all stay. Oh, I was cranked, Goddamn car breaks down, then they tell me, oh, you can't ride. Like I told him, my car, that's my car. I'm going with my car. One, to make sure it gets to the right place. And two, I ain't walking. Matter of fact, I keep forgetting to ask Carlos. Although I'm pretty sure, I don't think I've ever seen that decal on his trucks. Oh, they have it right in the corner of the window. You go to grab the door handle. Due to insurance regulations, we are not allowed to carry passengers. I'm not a passenger. I'm the owner of the car. Yeah, told me he never heard of winching like that. I says, what do you think they make snatch blocks for? Put the block over here on the far side of the bed, right there. See that hole that's there? That's where you put it. Then the cable runs to my car. And then you hit the winch, and I'll steer, and amazingly, the car will follow and come right to where you want it. I never heard of doing that. I says, I was towing in the days where there was none of this fancy electric winch and all this fancy shit. We didn't sit in the cab and push a button. We had to stand out in the snow. Yeah, I'm telling him how to position everything. I never heard of that. Well, you're going to learn something here, Einstein. Of course, he'll go back to the towing yard and he'll show all of his buddies. I'm going to show you an easy way to get a car out of a parking space. You hook your snatch block over here, and then you run the cable, and it goes at a 90-degree angle, and it pulls the car right out of the parking space, right to the back of the bed. The other guys in the towing company go, wow, you are smart. Learned it all on my own. Asshole. Like, how did he get the job? Walk into Walmart, saw one of them little tear off things. Call this number if you want to drive a tow truck. You know how to drive a tow truck? No, but I can spell tow truck. Okay, you're hired. I don't know what these drivers would do if they had to do, rollover recoveries like we did back in the day. God, I'd go out on the scene of an accident with a goddamn tractor trailer rolled over. And I'm using a goddamn Holmes 850, which was the bare bones of wreckers. In order to do everything, you had the levers outside, not like today. They push a button. Oh, the PTO engages. They push a button here. No. You were out there dragging chain and dragging cable and engaging the winch manually outside the truck, covered in fucking snow and sleet. God, these new trucks, Jesus Christ, they do everything for you. Yeah, I said to him, you got a snatch block? Yeah. Well, get the snatch block and hook it here in the corner of the bed. I don't know how to do that. You don't know how to hook a snatch block over here in this hole in the corner of the bed? I walked over, I opened the customers aren't allowed to do that. Here's a snatch block. Take it out. Now hook it here. Now, open the snatch block and run the cable around the wheel. Close the snatch block back up. Now run the cable over and you'll see that hook eye underneath my front bumper. Hook the cable in there. And the car will pull right out and I will steer it. I don't know how to do that. Then, when we got the car ready to load, I could see his wheels turning, going, wow, that was easy. I didn't have to push that car. Yeah. Then while he's chaining it down, I hopped in. He gets in and goes, you can't ride there. Well, you want me to ride in the back seat? You can't ride in the truck. I'm in the truck. Are you going to throw me out? Well, it says on the door you can't ride in here. I felt like saying, no habla English. This is the second towing company that's giving me a hard time about riding in the truck. Man, I unloaded on that guy from Allstate. Oh, man. And when he started to give me some shit, I said, give me your supervisor. Then the supervisor started, and I said, hey, I'm going to tell you something right now. You offer a towing service. 24 hours a day. You got somebody up on the freeway. They tell me that they would drop me at the nearest gas station if I was stranded on the freeway. How the hell am I going to get home, for one? How the hell am I going to get my car in the right place? You better start double checking with your towing companies. And if any of them tell you this shit that their insurance won't let a customer ride, delete their contract. They come out with these goddamn trucks that have 4 doors and back seats. What the hell you got a goddamn truck that big for if you're not going to carry a customer? What are you going to do if you come across a broke down car and they got 6 kids? You're going to dump everybody at a gas station? That's what the last one told me. Well, we would take you to the closest gas station and you'd have to get out. Yeah, well, then you can unload my car and I'll call another tow truck. I told that guy from Allstate, the most asinine thing I ever saw. You come out with a goddamn tow truck enough to carry a small gypsy band of thieves, and they're not allowed to ride in the truck. And they got big signs all over the truck. Driver does not carry cash. What are you going to rob him? Of his gloves? Give me your hard hat. Well, I told him. I says, either I ride in this truck or you can unload that car and I will call someone else and complain about your service. Oh, okay. Little wimp ass. I was half tempted to throw him out of the truck and drive it myself. I could see Ryan pull up and I get out of the... Where'd you get that truck? I stole it. Had to get my car here somehow. They wouldn't let me ride in it. Then you go to the opposite end of the spectrum, where you got Ryan and his father, who own this little mom and pop repair shop, who will take me home, and when my car is done, pick me up and take me back to the station. I don't have to call for a ride. Once we got the car situated, Ryan's father said, I'll take you home. Okay. Car was done. Ryan pulls up in the driveway, takes me back to the station, pay him. And he hands me the keys before the bill is paid. Now, it's not like I'm going to run out and jump in the car and stiff them. As soon as I walked in the door, here's your keys. I should have turned around and said, thanks. I wouldn't do that. They take too good care of me. Oh, man. Him and his father. I've never been one to take my car to a repair shop, but first of all, the weather's shitty. And second of all, they treat me more than fair. Matter of fact, I paid the bill and I gave him an extra 10. I said, here, get yourself some sandwiches up at McDonald's. No, keep your money. No. You guys busted your ass to get the car back to me today. Because I told them, if you can't finish it today, I need it by noon tomorrow. No later. It was about 10 to 5 because they close at 5, and I was like, I guess I ain't getting the car back. And I hear beep, beep, beep. Look out the window. Oh, there's a green Passat in the driveway with green headlights. Well, teal. I got to switch them one of these days. You don't find repair shops like this today. This shop is a rarity. This shop is a throwback to when I was first driving. And I could not complain about the price because I called Volkswagen and they told me anywhere between $600 and $800. That just goes to show you how much a dealer gouges the shit out of you. Although, like, every dealership will tell you, the money isn't made selling the car. The money is made back in that service department repairing the car. Or if a dealership has a body shop. But you know, I'm not going to take my car to a dealership for an oil and filter change and spend $120 when I can get it done for $30 or change it myself. I change it myself in the summer. In the winter, and there aren't a lot of shops that let you bring your own shit. You know, when I did the oil change on the Passat, I went out and I bought the oil and filter because it was on sale. Goddamn fucking expensive synthetic oil. I drove up and I said to Ryan, I said, I need the oil changed. The oil and the filter are in the back seat. How much? $20. Do it. That way I wasn't getting all greasy. It was summer. I could have changed it. I was just lazy. But I'll tell you what, that car don't burn a drop. I pull that dipstick today and it's dead ass on the flow mark like the day I had it changed. It's the only good thing about that car. Oof. But shit, there ain't nothing but change the plugs, change the oil, change the filter. New brakes all the way around. Now it's got 2 axle shafts. And I still don't own it. And just before showtime, I checked my chart. I still don't see any information like a stronger prescription of antibiotics. The crinkleberry juice ain't doing it. Well, it's helping, but not enough. So what's the temperature in good old Tennessee today? We're still cranking at 25 here. Although since I got rid of the weather apps out of my phone, I can't check the weather for tomorrow. Boy, they were eating up data, though. Man, it's amazing. Them things were running in the background. Because I checked my data usage on consumer today, and it's way down. Although I got rid of just about every goddamn app I wasn't using. Oh, gee, 74. Damn you, Ron. 42 and 10, huh? Well, that's comfy weather. Still need a jacket, but I'll take it. I'll take it over 25. So, Ron, I got a question. Is $300,000 a starter home? Is that one of them neat little tiny bungalows that a new married couple buys, and then they have kids and they're like, oh shit, we're screwed, we got to buy a bigger house now? Well, just remember one thing. If you find a house you really like, don't show excitement. If you come across one you really like, tell the real estate agent, oh, this could possibly work. Needs a couple repairs here and there. Walk in the house and go, oh, I'll take it. Sir, you haven't got past the foyer. That's okay, I like the foyer, I'll take it. You want to see the rest of the house? Nope, I like the foyer. Got a nice chandelier hanging here. Matter of fact, I'll move my TV in here, put my easy chair over there. Yeah, but you won't be able to open the door. That's okay. Nobody needs to come in. I always have a back door. Or the garage. Oh, by the way, can we see the garage? A workbench. Oh, cool. Oh. God, I remember there was one house I looked at. Oh. Had a heated garage, fully insulated, had a fancy floor on it. Had a shower. Well, it had almost a full bathroom in the garage, and it had a lift. I was like, holy shit, a lift. And my wife didn't like it. I don't like the kitchen. I don't like the dining room. Yeah, but the garage has a lift. And it's got a workbench. And the guy's leaving a tool cabinet. I don't like the kitchen and I don't like the dining room. Yeah, but the garage has a full bath, a shower, heated. I don't like the kitchen. I don't like the dining room. Yeah, but the garage has got a lift. I could work on the car. I don't like the... Oh, okay, we'll go look at another one. Oh, I'd love to have that. Oh. Had an extra high garage so that you could use the lift all the way up. Had a slop sink in the corner. Then it had a bathroom with a shower. Had its own furnace. Fully insulated. Some coating on the floor the grease wouldn't stick to. Big ass workbench. And a big snap-on tool cabinet full of tools. Shit, I'd have lived in the garage. Who would screw the kitchen and the dining room? Hey, I don't need it. I'll put a microwave in the corner of the garage and bring out my Strata Lounger, hang the TV right there. Don't need you. Yeah. That's where I learned real fast. You don't argue with the other half. Because, oh, she could make your life miserable. But I could have lived in the garage. Seriously. Man, all I needed was a refrigerator and a small stove. The guy's hobby was restoring classic cars. Man, that lift, oh man, that garage. I walked in, I went, oh, am I in love? That's when the real estate agent was like, oh, I got him hooked on this one. And my wife was like, I don't like the kitchen and the dining room. Well, that's okay. I'll live in the garage. I'll put a folding bed in the corner. That's all I needed. I don't know what that coating was on the floor. It looked like stone covered in urethane plastic. I'd never seen a floor coating like that in my life. But the real estate agent said, well, grease and oil don't stick to it. Hose it right down. I'm sold. Yeah, it had a 2-car garage in the front. And then you drove around back. And man, what a. Oh, God. I wanted that house so bad. I kept telling her, hey, we'll remodel the kitchen. No, I don't. My dream garage. I always said my next house, which I'm too fucking old now, no matter what the garage was like, I would rip it down and have one built like what was on that house. I couldn't believe it when I walked in the garage and saw a lift. Holy shit. Am I seeing things? Walked over and pushed the button. It's a lift. The garage was laid out like a service station. Had an oil change bucket, you know, the one that you raise up. Big air compressor in the corner. Fluorescent lights everywhere. Christ, you turn on a couple of switches, that garage lit up like a stadium. And the house was reasonably priced because the guy, he wanted to retire to Florida like right now. I can't remember how much it was, but I lowballed the real estate agent. The guy said, well, if he comes up about $5,000, I'll sell it. And I was like, holy shit. There's my wife standing there. I don't like the kitchen. I don't like the dining room. Well, right about now, you're not too high on my list of likes, so don't push it, babe. I had to walk away from that one. I ordered me some more of these stainless steel straws. Come with a kit. You get 12 straws and 3 cleaning brushes for like $9. Those I got off of eBay, not Temu. I like them stainless steel, reusable. Matter of fact, I got one right here. It's a straight one with a cleaning brush. Come on, come out of the package. Yeah, these brushes are neat because you just clean. I don't know why that's in here. Oh, I know why. Never mind. I just remembered why I have them in here, because they'll disappear if I put it in the kitchen. I had a whole shitload of them I bought Dollar Tree. was like a package of 8 stainless steel for $1.25. All 8 of them are gone. I know where. We'll never see them again. When the kit comes, I'll hide it. Oh. Did you happen to think, Kathy, of what I was supposed to send you from Temu? I know we were talking about my fancy lights. I don't think that's what you're interested in. The night lights. Bink, 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 bink. I love them. Touch and go. Dink, 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 dink. They're neat. You just tap them on off. I don't think that's what we were. I buy so much shit from Temu, I can't remember what the hell we were talking about. If it comes to me, I'll make a note of it. It's on my current purchases. Let's see, what the hell? There's the motion sensor wall sconce. Oh, that's right. The fancy little candle lights. That's right. Okay. I'm going to keep this on the desk so that tomorrow morning I can email you. That's right. We were talking about these fancy because they also come frosted. Although I like seeing the flame. Speaking of, let's light it up. Yeah, it's cool. I like the flame light. Yeah, I'll email you this in the morning. The flame nightlight. Grumpy has an idea. Okay, turn the flame light off. Bink. Nope, we don't want to put it over there. Nope. Right there on the desk. In the morning. Yeah, like I say, I want to order more because I've got one of those old 3-light Christmas that everybody stuck in their window. It never failed. Everybody had the 3 candle. So I want to order some more so that I can make me a nightlight with the 3 fancy LED candles. Like I need another nightlight. I got them lights around the TV. Although the bedroom looks cool. I have all 3 TVs lit up with their surround lights. One is yellow, one is green, one is blue. Then I wonder I can't go to sleep. Well, perfect timing. Somebody just stuck their head in the door. The walking belly. All right, I'll feed you. Mr. Massage Cat. Okay, and we want outro music. There we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. And we know where, right here, WDWL TV, the home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And with that, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Hopefully I'll get a little note with some new antibiotics in the morning. And with that, everyone, take care. And we will meet again tomorrow night. And with that, the 2 OBS obligatory see yous. See you number 1. And the obligatory see you number 2. Take care. See ya. Okay, come on.